Mikhail Dahlstrom finds himself on pole as we come to the green flag for round number 11 of the 2017 Division 2 Series. We are underway. Dahlstrom with a solid start on the inside line in the 26. He starts alongside Jason Trost, who will try to combat him for the lead in turn 1. Into turn 2, Dahlstrom slides a little bit wide off the exit of turn 3. And there goes around Alex Morgan in the back, and John Arndt second in the points around in the 05 car as well, as Dahlstrom loses the lead, but Trost trying to keep it as Dahlstrom tries to fight back for it, but Dahlstrom slides, he clips the wall, and Trost gets the lead, with Fuller and Torres sitting just behind. Trouble for Morgan and Arndt early. See, Morgan, John Arndt gets into the back of the 86, and then coming off the exit of the corner, Arndt gets into the back of the 86 and hooks him around. Arndt already made contact on the entrance to the corner and seemed like he finished him off at the exit. And now they have quite a ladder to climb. Kyle Schock Jr. behind him was also spun as Jeff James just gives him a little bit of a touch, and Schock goes off. Torres and Fuller battling for the third place position as Torres makes a late dive, maybe some slight contact, and Fuller gets out of shape, and Torres gets into the back of the 22, and Fuller gets spun into the grass. Fuller got spun, and now Torres almost got dumped by one of the SG Motorsports cars. Replay what happens to Fuller and Torres. Torres makes a late dive, and that gets Fuller out of shape and causes him to, well, have trouble coming back up to the track as Torres had already put his bumper to him, and that sent the 22 around. A chaotic first lap, but currently Matthew Fuller does lead in the 36 car. Dahlstrom sitting just behind as somebody went off. I think that might have been Scott Roush in 25. I think he just got to the grass, and they're 3 wide behind with Torres, Fontana, and Roush. And oh, we got a spin in the back. Cyron, the points leader, got into contact with somebody. I think it might have been the 40 of Axel Kavistad. Trouble for our points leader, who had a really bad qualifying effort this weekend. Just clips into the back of Axel as Axel was making the corner, and Cyron just clipped him. Cooper Cyron qualified for the Race of Legends earlier this week, and while he is driving a Denali Sport car today, he will be driving a Toyota at the end of the week for the Race of Legends. Ooh, trouble for Jeff James. He loses control to 17. He got into the corner a little bit too hot, clipped the grass, and had trouble keeping his car under control. And now he is dragging himself against the wall, but still going to get back onto the racetrack. Jason Trost has led every lap so far, but Mikhail Dahlstrom has kept him in his sights. He has not been able to get away from that Audi, but Dahlstrom has yet to make any offensive moves. He just seems to be keeping pace with them. And with this, they are both pulling away from third place and on back, so I suppose they both see that there's no reason to battle when they're already pulling away. Very smart veteran-style driving for sure. But I imagine if Dahlstrom will get to Trost later on, he probably won't be as passive. This might come as a surprise, but the car running the fastest laps on the track is not the leader. So it's actually Takumi Hirano in the 21 in the Nissan Maxima. Hirano's done a pretty significantly decent job today. He didn't have a good qualifying effort, but he has been punching his way forward. He actually passed Aiden McIntyre. McIntyre is also having a really struggling day. A lot of the top 5 in points have gotten involved in accidents or have just not been able to get towards the front. But Hirano continuing to put pretty solid laps. although he's having trouble getting past Henrietta Fitzwater. Bound for ninth place is Eric Wolf trying to get past Coy Harley, who slides off the track a little bit, and that allows Eric Wolf to capitalize. But look at Harley back down to the bottom, immediately makes a crossover maneuver, because I think Wolf might have gone slightly wide, and Harley going to try to capitalize on it. Wolf slightly blocking to the entrance. Harley doesn't do anything too aggressive, although Wolf was kind of asking for it. Jason Trost has finally managed to pull away from Mikhail Dahlstrom, as Trost going to come into pit lane for his singular stop that's going to be needed to make it on fuel. Dahlstrom elects to stay out an extra lap, it looks like, but Trost begins the pit cycle in the 36 car. Dahlstrom gets a good pit stop, but we're going to see where he merges, because here comes Jason Trost on the outside line. Into the corner. That's a dangerous pit exit. That's been a complaint by all the drivers ever since we got to the track, but Trost goes by. Dahlstrom almost managed to cut in front of Trost before the entrance to turn 1. And now Trost, with the warmer tires, is going to try to pull away and make sure Dahlstrom does not get to him. Very rough pit stop for Sebastian Torres as he falls from 3rd to 7th. And the 06 team did not do him any favors. Torres was actually running some pretty quick laps in the late stages of that run. And now he's going to have some work to do if he wants to get a podium today. This 06 team has shown some pretty decent pace this year. They've come close to a couple of wins on occasion, but they have not been able to really have the performance to, I would say, defend a lead at all, but they've kept in touch, and this is a team that does not have a lot of funding. Thunder Team Motorsports, a team from Colombia. They've been knocking on the door, but they just need a little bit of a push, I think, if they want to win a race this year, but I think they've got the capabilities to do so. Meanwhile, Luca Fontana, who was sitting in 4th place, now comes up to 3rd with towards his mishap on pit road. And this is by far the best run Fontana has had this season. Red Bull has just not had a good Division 2 season with Luca Fontana. They missed the first race of the season. It took them until round number 8 at Dubai to score their first top 10 of the whole season. They were pretty much sitting somewhat dead last in the standings. But right now, they are looking at what would be the best finish of the season for them, as they are trying to finish the season out strong. Fontana has had some brief showings of decent talent, but he has not been able to really perform this season. Kind of struggled last season too, but regardless, the San Marinian is giving the 60 team its best run of the year as they fight for a podium. More towards the back of the field, Alex Morgan dives into Henrietta Fitzwater, and Fitzwater gets into the 86, and they have wrecked themselves off the track. Looked like Morgan drove to the corner a little bit too hot, and Fitzwater didn't back out and promptly hooked him around. Battle for 12th is Tamir Delis and McIntyre going at it. They have both managed to get into the top 15. And Delis slides off into the grass. McIntyre going to try to go around the outside and capitalize. He does so. McIntyre coming off his first win of the season as he slides off the grass, and Delis is going to get the position right on back. Good pit stops from United Racing and CBM to get McIntyre and Delis back in contention for a top 10. But they're going to see if they can climb their way forward. McIntyre needs to get in front of Cooper Cyron if he wants to make any gains in the championship, and Cyron is a couple positions ahead of them. Meanwhile, Jason Trost will take the white flag here in France. Trost has not been passed once today, as Mikhail Dahlstrom has not been able to close in on this 36 car. And all he's got to do is drive around for one more lap. But Dahlstrom trying his best. He will get a second place finish if he does not make a mistake. Come to checker flag, Jason Trost in the 36 is going to come around. He will score the win here in France in dominating fashion and gets another win for Trost Motorsports. And here's all the way back to the battle for third. Chris Dodd has made headways on the 60 of Fontana, who slides off the track and makes a mistake. And here comes Dodd to capitalize. That's the car he drove last year. That's 60 Red Bull. Dodd gets a great run. They're going to be side by side to the checkered flag for the podium position. Chris Dodd in the final corner drag races Fontana and beats him by a nose. The battle for the win was exciting, but the battle for third, that was something.